To be here, and I got invited, and I'm glad that we're able to help sponsor these kind of things. This is amazing. I just want to say a couple of things, just to put things in perspective. It's Memorial Day is coming up, and next Thursday I start my 30th ride to Washington, D.C. to the Vietnam Wall, the Veterans Wall. The wall was dedicated November 13th of '82. That was Veterans Day, and I was there. And we weren't happy with the design of the wall. We weren't happy with what that was dedicated for the guys that died for us, our guys, okay? The guys that we fought with, the guys who left widows and orphans. There was 58,000 plus names on the wall. And of course, as everybody knows, we got there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I slept under the Washington Monument, and everybody else went. And we saw it. And we just had that cathartic moment. And ever since then, that wall has had a special place in my life and the life of many friends of ours. It is the names of all the people of our generation that were killed in Vietnam. And let me tell you something about that as a vet, and I'll try to be really quick. I was there. I was a forward air controller. I brought in airstrikes for the 101st Airborne. I met with the people in Vietnam. I spent time in the villages. Those were wonderful people. That was a great cause. It was a war that we won. We never lost a firefight. And I don't care how many people want to say that we lost Vietnam. They lost Vietnam back here. We didn't lose a battle in Vietnam. We won that war, and General Jeep has written books about it. I'm proud to have been there. Most of my friends now look back and realize how important it was and how immoral a cause it was, and yet the American people just didn't see it. They didn't want to be drafted. They didn't want to go. They didn't see any benefit to them as Americans, and so they abandoned an incredible people and left people like the Montagnards and the Monks tribesmen who backed us, who fought with us, who put their lives and their family lives on the line. And so many of them have come here to America and been successful, but so many of them died, drowned, or have lived horrible lives since then because we left. And we've had to live with that for all these years. A lot of us veterans felt pretty badly about that. But we had a mission to do. We had a mission to do, one, to make sure that POWs and MIAs were never forgotten. And we did that. We've done that. We continue to do that. Rolling Thunder will have 700,000 motorcycles on the Sunday before Memorial Day, reminding the whole world that America leaves no one behind. And we have another mission to do. We want to recognize, we want this country to recognize, and this country has, the importance of those serving our country today. The importance, because we don't want to ever let this country do what they did to us and to the people that served in Vietnam, especially those people who are on the wall, who gave it all, and were wounded, and the guys that went through some terrible trauma, and the families that went through some trauma. We don't ever want to see anybody, any soldier, any family disrespected ever again. So we have another mission to do. But I got to tell you something. In this day and age, we don't know how we got involved in Vietnam, and people can argue whether it was right or wrong, but they can't argue the moral cause once we were there. But there is no argument about how we got involved in the war that we're in today. And make no mistake about it. This is a war, and this is a war we didn't start, and this is a war that we don't continue. It is continued. As you can see, in 1983, 241 Marines killed in Lebanon. 1985, a Navy diver named Rob Steedham thrown off a TWA plane and killed, beaten to death because he was an American sailor. And it goes on and on. You can see the trail right through the 1993 and the World Trade Center, and then the USS Kobe Towers, and of course 9/11. And we see it happening. And since 9/11, when our soldiers went to Afghanistan and we went into Iraq, we stopped it from happening. We were successful. We had a surge after 4 years trying to figure out how to get Iraq done, and we did it. And we won the war, and we had it going right. And we know what we're doing in Afghanistan. And now that we're backing off, we can see a trail starting again. But nobody in this country better have their head in the sand again, thinking that you could just abandon a cause and it's not going to follow you back. It didn't follow us here from Vietnam. It will follow us here. Because this is a war not against terrorists and terrorism. And they don't even want to say that. This is a war against radical Muslims. And we are in the way of them attaining a global caliphate. And until they either achieve their goal and get rid of us, or we defeat them, we're going to be fighting them until we convince them that it's not worth the price. And the American people better know that. And we have a job to do. And, you know, as a combat controller, special ops guy, and I'm a gas special, you guys are, you're great, you're awesome. You guys are the tip of the spear, it's amazing. But we all know we couldn't do our jobs without the clerks, without the mechanics, without the logistics people. We need everybody pulling on that rope to get this job done. And in today's military, we need our spouses, the wives. It's never played a bigger role. The families of military, today's military, play a huge, huge role like never before. And, you know, you guys, you survivors, you're inspirational. You set an example. You inspire us, you inspire everybody here. All the families do. I love that you guys are here supporting this. We've done whatever we can to support the Special Ops Warrior Foundation, the boot campaign, and we will become a part of what you guys are doing today. God bless you. This is awesome. I want you guys to remember this coming Memorial Day, Glenn Dowdy and Tyrone Woods should receive the Congressional Medal of Honor. Those are the bravest two human beings I've ever seen. What they did was amazing. And until we unravel the story, the real truth of what happened in Benghazi, they will not be able to get the credit and all the acclamation and appreciation that they deserve. Those guys are amazing American heroes like Audie Murphy and Nathan Hale or anybody else in history. And we should know their names and never forget it. So let's remember Benghazi, remember these guys and everybody else in our prayers this Memorial Day. Again, God bless you. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you all again very much for being here this evening and being a part of the Special Ops Survivors Evening.